Hi there, Ernie here with Brood Home Farms, and today we're going to be reviewing 3 products from Roosty's. So today we have 3 products from Roosty's for raising chickens that we're going to be reviewing here. The first, and I just want to get this one out of the way, is the feeder. This is an excellent feeder. It is very similar to most feeders that you find on the market. It has a container that holds feed on the top, and that feeds down into a container at the bottom where a number of chicks can feed from around it. It worked really well. The chicks are able to use it as well as any other feeder. Again, this is pretty standard, and so it performed as well as every other feeder like this does. And what's nice is it will come packed with the waterer. Now, we used the water, or at least when we got these, it was packaged together. Now this waterer is really good. It works as well as other waterers like it, but there is a difference, and this difference is very important, and that is it has legs on the bottom. You can see them here, these legs, and you can fold them out, and that raises the water up, and then they fold out again and raise up even further. What's great about this is if you're raising a half a dozen or a dozen chicks, whether they're meat birds or laying hens that you're planning on collecting eggs from later, this will grow with them as they go from a chick to a pullet before they become a hen, and you let them outside and harden them off. The litter that builds up in a brooder can get deep if you don't address it every single day. And in some methods, you simply cover and then continue on to allow it to compost down under its own steam. In these cases, having a waterer stay up above the litter is difficult. You can use blocks of woods with normal waterers, and that's what we've done in the past. The problem is that eventually the chicks still get the litter into the tray around the water itself. It gets in there and it dirties it. With this, you can use the legs to keep it up above the litter, and as it starts to build up around it, it won't be getting right into the water. So again, if you're raising 6 or 12 chicks and you're raising them for any purpose, while they're in the brooder, this set right here is going to work really, really well for you. So you've got, again, the feeder and the waterer. The feeder is going to work, again, like any other feeder you use, excellent. It performed well. This is, I'm going to say, better than your typical waterer. With the legs folded in, it definitely looks like a regular waterer. There's lots of them that have that form and function just like that. But with the legs, you're able to get it up above the litter and keep the water clean. Hopefully, keeping your chicks free from some sort of illness that could develop from that, or having a parasite cycle repeat because it's getting into the water. Now, I'd like to put those aside and talk about these nesting pads from Roosty's as well. Now, I've got 3 here, and I've got 3 out in a small pen that we use for hens that are brooding on eggs, or for chicks and pullets that have been moved outside to harden off or to get used to being in the outside weather. For hens that are laying and broody, we have found that in our setup, the way we do it, they do not prefer these in particular. When given the choice, they like softer beddings or something of that nature, pine shavings, and they would essentially ignore these. However, we have a very particular setup. It's very casual and informal. We have places for the chickens to lay eggs. They don't always use those places. They have places they enjoy laying their eggs, and we're used to the hunt in the chicken area for some eggs. However, some people have a setup where they have a number of egg laying stations, and they have a slight angle where they run back, and then the eggs collect in like a trough where people can collect them afterwards at a given time. These nesting pads are going to be great for that purpose. If you put these in something like that and just throw a little pine shavings on top, these are going to work really well. They're easy to clean. The chickens aren't going to get all caught in them or tear them up if they're picking at them. And then if you have an egg that gets laid, it'll roll right down, no problem, to get to that trough where it'll be collected later by someone in the household. So these work really well for the right application. Our application wasn't that, and so our hens just didn't prefer them. But in a more organized setup that some people would prefer to have, and they have a number of laying boxes with a slight angle like that, these are going to be great for that. Like I said, a little bit of pine shavings on top, and these suckers are going to be easy to clean, good to go for that setup. So thank you again for visiting, and I hope you enjoy some of the footage that we had for the chickens using and enjoying these products. We have a lot of meat birds right now, and so when we were using these, it was nice to have the water, for example, out of the litter while they were brooding and getting ready to go outside. These, again, we like these. They're especially the easy to clean fashion of them. I mean, they have holes that go through, and then they have this like feathered top, and you can clean it. You can run them underwater. You can spray them off with a hose, whatever, bang them out. They're flexible. They don't break. They don't snap or anything like that. And again, in a very organized setup where you have the laying boxes, these are going to be absolutely perfect. So have a good day, and thanks for stopping by.